Welcome to another Brand Decoded show. Today I want to talk about digital organizing. As a knowledge worker, you are bound to sit in front of a computer. Chaos costs you money. And if you're not organized, guess what? You're losing cash. And being organized, as my dad says, is a full-time job. So he was a regional manager for a big pharma company, and I remember him late in the evening always organizing files and spreadsheets non-stop, incessantly. And even though I graduated finance, I hated spreadsheets, I hated documents. Like, it's just so boring, right? But the fact that he kept all of those things so meticulously organizing, that was like a pleasurable thing to see, but not necessarily for me to do. Unfortunately, as the digital entropy is encroaching in our lives and the chaos is simply everywhere, I'm starting to realize that the millionaires out there that are just simple content creators, they are curators of their ideas, and they are able to attract and retain the audience because they keep their digital minds organized. And this organizational habit is something that we all need to incorporate into our lives. It's not something that happens randomly, it's something that you practice on a daily basis. And even my writing system, it's like a mess. Like, how do you know what you're working on next? How do you pull up search? A lot of people are using applications like Notion. I'm starting to use Cortex from Dan Coe and his team. And all of this is starting to make a whole lot of sense after you apply the thinking process to the things that you already have. And people will talk about inbox zero. I think you can forget about it. Even as someone who's like aspiring to be organized, I'm getting 200 emails a day. How are you going to survive on 200 emails a day? It just doesn't make sense. Like, no matter how much you're curating, no matter how much you unsubscribe, no matter how much you try to minimize the amount of emails you're getting, you can just forget about it. Like, you can maybe declare an email bankruptcy and clean up your stock, and just like, it's impossible. Even with apps like Spark, inbox zero is an impossibility. So what can you do? Like, you can become a person that is investing time into organization. If my dad was spending like 2 hours per day on every business day after he came back from work, I think that all of us can aspire to organize our little corners of the universe. Because when we know what is important and we're not in a rush, we can more easily find passwords. We can more easily log in into our accounts. Imagine how much time are we losing on not being able to find the password. If you're one of those people that's not using a password manager, this could be your New Year's resolution. Like, I don't know how would I live without password managers. In a grand scheme of things, the ability to navigate complex systems and how much of a complex system you can navigate in your digital environment is directly proportional to how much money you can make. There is no shred of doubt, because our entire worlds are becoming mostly digital. The what I have inside of my apps is more important than the possessions that I have. That is the organizational system. And unfortunately, I don't feel like I had a well-established habit of reviewing things that I already own, and pruning things and purging things that are not longer relevant for the goals and ambitions that I currently possess. I think that's one of the primary things that I'm finding to be pertinent entering into 2025. How do we more easily organize and curate our information and have it readily available when we need it? That is the turning point. Because if you think about social media, if you think about content, if you think about your business, all of these systems in place are just organizational habits. Like, because everything is the same for everyone. You have an organizational system and you're utilizing that system to market, sell, deliver, fulfill, optimize. And most people, they don't have this system down to a science. So if you are a marketer, you need to have a way of organizing your information, which is your tools. These are your tools. And you're utilizing these ideas as a delivery mechanism through, I don't know, if you're advertising through Facebook ads, if you're using social media, through tweets, through newsletters. You need to store these ideas somehow in an organized fashion. That is your digital mind. Your digital mind is a collection and organization of these ideas, and you need to have like a throughput system, like from an idea to testing, and then collecting these findings and not just relying on the memory. Knowing what these findings are, and like, what is a finding? When you post a tweet and that tweet has high engagement, that is a finding. You need to document that and keep it somewhere stored in your digital mind so that you can expand that idea onto other platforms. And that way you can start expanding your digital footprint. An expansion of the digital footprint, as crazy as it may sound, is one of the most important aspects of a business. And this is where the murkiness of a personal brand and a business is becoming blurred, because a lot of people, they want to build a personal brand, but they don't have a business. If you have a business first and the personal brand as an add-on to the business, it is much healthier because you have a hierarchy of goals. And goals like getting leads is the paramount angle of acquiring business. That was like poorly phrased, but you get the idea. The survival of business is predicated on you getting the leads. And you are getting the leads based on the quality of your ideas and documenting in your system which ideas are high performing, or repackaging the ideas of others that are high performing. This is how you develop content as a skill. And content as a skill is lead generation in and of itself, because people don't do random things anymore. They don't. They are very conscious and strategic what is in their ecosystem. So find people where they're at. That is how you will expand your business. This is how your digital mind is enabling you to store more ideas and find connections between them, so you can utilize them on the cheap without paying massive amounts of advertising budgets to social media platforms. The amount of leverage that most people think that they need is much smaller. It's like dramatically smaller than the actual leverage that you do need. Like, it is a small surface area that is required for you to have a constant hum of the right fit clients or the right fit buyers for your business. It's incredibly small. You don't have to overthink it. Like, you can make content and create small amounts of leverage with the content that works, and then you start capturing these leads. Now, when these leads enter into the system, you have to organize them also, because if you're just like pulling in the leads and not working them through the system, if you're like selling something, like my company sells web design services, I have an entire CRM and I know, well, where all my leads are, and my team also knows where my leads are, and then we create deals in the pipeline stages, like the qualified to meet, contract sent, closed won, closed lost. Like we collect all this information so we can learn from it. It gives us like an aggregate of the information so we can qualify Facebook ads, we can qualify Google search, we can qualify Upwork, we can qualify Clutch. Like any platform that's sending us some revenue, we can quantify that as a channel and figure out where do we direct our marketing efforts. That's organization. And we organize these principles for our clients as well. So we can grade a channel, we can observe it as a scientific experiment and not an activity. So being meticulous about being organized is one of the keys to succeeding in 2025 and beyond, especially in the digital sense. Our digital environment and cleanliness of that is paramount. And I just in this moment, I want to have you share a moment of silence with me for those people that are forced to use Microsoft products. I really don't envy those guys. Like, as someone who's been a Mac only for the last, 15, 16 years, I can just say good luck to those guys. Because one of the key elements that I have about utilizing my technology, I'm like super keen on making sure that things that I use on a daily basis are a pleasure to use. If you do not enjoy the apps and tools that you are using, and if you feel that there is something better out there, go use that thing that's better. That's about digital organization, a little bit of a sprinkle of a marketing in it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to BrandDecoded.com if you want to get more updates, and I'll see you tomorrow.